where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. Today we are reviewing the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Axlegrease, the newest Junkion, and the first Junkion to not be in traditional Junkion colors. She's got a really cool color scheme. It's also the first true Decepticon Junkion that we've ever had. I mean, you could kind of include Detritus, but Detritus is a mercenary with both factional symbols, not just one or the other. So yes, he has a Decepticon symbol, but he's not truly aligned with the Decepticons, whereas this Axlegrease Junkion here definitely has Decepticon factional symbols. I love how her color scheme is very similar to that of a Transformers Prime Vehicon. I like how she shares a color scheme with those guys. Anyway, there she is in the packaging. You've got some awesome artwork of her down below on the side. You've got some artwork of her in her robot mode. On that side, you've got that Legacy Evolution banner artwork, and on the back, you have a breakdown of all of her pieces, as well as shots of her in robot mode and vehicle mode, and of course in pieces with one of the other Junkions, which looks like it's Crash Bar. So that's really cool. And that's pretty much it for her packaging. And here is Crash Bar out of the packaging, and she looks awesome. She looks so very, very awesome. I really like this one. I know this is probably my Decepticon bias talking, but she's probably my favorite Junkion so far for a couple of reasons. One, I love that color scheme. That is such an awesome color scheme. Two, I love the alt mode. Very much reminds me of animated Lockdown. So I wonder if maybe we'll potentially see an animated Lockdown G1 eyes, of course, like the rest. Retool of this figure right here. I think that would be kind of interesting to see at some point in the future. I mean, should he be more Voyager height because he is a tall character in the animated universe? Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't quite be tall enough in robot mode. But just about everything else about this, with some minor retooling with, you know, like the patch sections and such, and of course the chest would have to be different. No racing grid on the windows or whatever. With some interesting retooling, you could definitely get a cool deluxe G1ized animated universe Lockdown, in my opinion. And she even comes with a pair of blasters that make the exposed engine on the hood of the alt mode, which do come together, and you can plug it onto the forearm right there. And she even comes with a hook that you can, I guess, put in her hand. I know he has a hook for a hand, so what Hasbro could do is either swap out one of the hands, or you can just turn the elbow around. And you see, is it perfect? No. Could it work? Kinda. I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, those are some of the accessories she comes with. You can split this up into two individual blasters if you so choose, and she can, of course, wield them in either hand or on the side of her arm. They also plug and store on her shins because they are part of her alt mode, and you can leave them there even while in robot mode, and it won't really hinder the robot mode very much because luckily the way these ankles are designed, you can just hold that cover over the barrel, so it doesn't actually hinder that at all. It's very nice. They did a good job with that in mind. She also comes with these other cool little blasters slash thrusters that go on the back of her alt mode. She comes with a pair of those. She comes with a pair of exhaust pipes very similar to the one that Scrap Hook came with. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same, just different color plastic. And that's pretty much it for her accessories. I really like the cannons that she comes with like this, because you can just plug them onto her back and now she has a jetpack, which that's very cool. There's just a lot of awesome elements at play with this figure, the design of this figure, and the accessories she came with, because if you have even somewhat of an imagination, you're going to have a lot of fun with this Junkion. And you can say that about the other two as well that have come out in this line, Crash Bar and Scrap Hook, but I really think she's the best one so far. And of course, there's also Toe Line coming, and that's going to be the next Junkion, even though it's a G1ized RID Universe Toe Line. It's literally the same mold as Scrap Hook, so stay tuned for that review. That one is coming soon. You can even swap out Toe Line for Axlegrease here in case you would rather have a full Autobot Junkosaurus combiner whenever all of the Junkosaurus components finally come out. Just an option. Fully articulated, head is on a swivel side-to-side joint, full range of motion in the shoulders. Also, you can pull off the arms because you can disassemble her. Upper bicep, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, waist, hips, thigh, single jointed knees. You can remove the leg at the knee joint there. Lots of articulation in the ankles. You got a couple of joints right here. So double hinge joint there, as well as side ankle joint. So this figure has really good articulation overall, just like the rest of the Junkions on this line so far. For comparison, here she is next to Scrap Hook. So you can see them side by side. The not Junkion Ironhide. I'm on to you, Hasbro. That's clearly Junkion Ironhide. Y'all tried to bring that guy back from the dead after he was righteously blown up by Megatron. What the heck, Hasbro? And here she is next to Mark Clonus. I mean Crash Bar, the Junkion. So you can see them side by side. Transformation is actually very similar to that of Scrap Hook, because they do share some transformation and mold design elements. What we're going to do is I'm just going to start by disassembling all of these pieces, taking off all of these extra accessories, because a lot of them are going to have to move anyway, except for the ones right here on the hood, because those are staying in the same spot for her alt mode anyway. So those will stay. We're going to go ahead and do the legs first. We'll just peg those together, peg those feet together on that double hinge joint. Just rock that all the way back, and then that's going to fold up all nice and neat like that. Look, there's the front of the car already done. We're already finished with part of this. We're going to go ahead and untab that section right there and untab these shoulder sections right here that are attached to the torso, and then we're going to bring that forward, and then we're going to fold all of this back. And as we do that, before we do that, we're going to rotate that waist all the way around and bring that up like so. That's going to line up with the front of the car, and there's the front of the car with the windshield and stuff all done. Now we come over here to this section, fold these in a little bit. You can remove the arms entirely if it makes it easier for you. That's one of the nice things about the parts forming mechanic of these Junkions, is sometimes it's just easier to take the arms off, and we might end up doing that in this video, but we'll see. There's a little tab right here that tabs into this upper part of the torso, so fold that down, tab that into place. You heard that click. Rotate these shoulders like so. Rotate these arms facing in like so, and you might have an elbow joint pop off on you. Rotate these fists so that they will smoothly peg together. And as you work these in at this awkward angle, and see this just pulled right out of that shoulder socket on me, we're going to go ahead and angle that in. We're going to go ahead and push that fist in since this piece is pretty much already into place. And we're going to push that back into its socket while also pegging it together in the middle like so, which is why I was saying earlier we might end up taking the arms off, which we took off at least one, because it just makes things a little bit easier, especially with lining up and getting all those pieces clear where they're supposed to line up to. Still isn't quite there. There we go. There we go. That's how that should be. And then you'll notice that's how it should all be folded up underneath there. So like I said, just if you have to take off an arm, take off an arm. It might just make it a little easier for you. Now we're almost done. Now we got to put all the accessories back on. So these two pieces are just going to peg on right here on the back of the arms, cover up this back of the car section there, and now she's got these cool little nitro boosters on the back of her alt mode. You take the little hook here, that plugs in right there in the middle on the back, and then we just have the exhaust pipes that go up for here on the side. And there she is in her nice little Mad Max car alt mode. And I think my favorite part about these Junkions is the fact that they didn't make them all various motorcycles. The Mad Max motorcycles are cool, but doing all these other Mad Max style vehicles for the Junkions just as a range, expanding on them as a faction or sub-race of Cybertronian is just so much cooler to me, in my opinion. And real quick for comparison, here is Axlegrease next to Scrap Hook. So you can see them side by side in their alt modes. And yes, you can, just like you could with Crash Bar, swap out the fronts of the vehicles. You can even add the front of the Crash Bar bits to the front of Axlegrease if you really want to, which is very cool. And of course, here is Axlegrease next to Crash Bar. So you can see them side by side. So you see how they look together. And yeah, Axlegrease is definitely my favorite of the three. And like I said, I may have Decepticon bias, but also purple is my favorite color. So that's a good part of it as well, I think. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review featuring the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Axlegrease, the first female Junkion figure, the first official Decepticon Junkion figure, the first blue and purple and gray Junkion figure. A lot of firsts with this new Junkion, which is probably another reason why she stands out to me so much more than the other ones. And these new Junkions are great. These are some of my favorite figures to come out of Hasbro in a little while, just because of how unique they are. When Hasbro's been doing these cool, unique play patterns recently and these new, unique concepts like the Junkions and the Fossilizers. I know I've talked about that in the previous videos, but these fresh new ideas are so cool and revitalizing to a brand like Transformers. So I hope they keep doing stuff like this. Like I said, I would love to see them do this with like Insecticons and Sharkticons and characters of that nature in the future now, because now that we've established the possibility for more characters to fit in these sub-factions or these sub-races within the Transformers, the sky is the limit. They can really just come up with these cool new concepts for these original ideas that have just been never done until now. So can't wait to see what they do next. Can't wait to actually build Junkosaurus. I'm very excited to build Junkosaurus, but for that, we got to get the rest of the Junkions. So hopefully there are some more coming soon, because we need another Crash Bar type Junkion to be the other arm. And supposedly that was just a prototype of Crash Bar in Mark Clonus's image of Junkosaurus when he teased it. So we need at least one more of this body type to actually finish out Junkosaurus. So hopefully Hasbro's got an announcement for another Junkion coming up real soon for us. Guys, stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for the upcoming tow line video review that will be coming probably in the next couple weeks or so. So be on the lookout for that, because we will be doing tow line and comparing it to scrap hook and axle grease as well. And check out some of our other content, like and subscribe, follow us on social media, check out our sister website, cooltoyreview.com, and subscribe to the Cool Toy Review YouTube channel, because like I said in some of my other videos, some Transformer content is going to be exclusive to the Cool Toy Review YouTube channel. So make sure you're following that YouTube channel in case there's something I'm going to cover that you're really looking forward to that might be covered over there. Like all of the Toxitron figures, for example. All of those will be covered on Cool Toy Review. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see that content. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you're looking for some awesome Transformers, check out our physical location in the shops at Willowbend Mall inside Order 66 Multiverse, which also houses Order 66 Toys, the nation's official all Star Wars collectible toy store. And in case you're not local, well, Order 66 goes live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Order 66 Toys Facebook page, and they ship all around the world. And for daily Star Wars content, make sure you check out rebelscum.com, like and subscribe to the rebelscum.com YouTube channel and social media for some awesome original Star Wars toy content, and check out our archival website, collectorsoracle.com. It's free to sign up, and there's going to be some interesting brands and toys that you can archive in your collection absolutely free, by the way, very soon. Again, that's collectorsoracle.com. Links to all of that stuff is in the description down below. So we'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man.